Bhattacharya is a faculty of Art of Living. She takes courses for corporate children, teens, and youth. She facilitates institution courses too. She works in a corporate firm and is a lover of linguistics. And her passion for literature is far beyond that. She became an author. Her book Jade Sword for children was incredible. Arundhati has given life to the character of the book. Apart from all, she's an astrologer. I would say a gifted astrologer. She has divine abilities to connect to people. Being a close friend of her, I know her. There was a time when she used to pick up all our horoscopes and read the reading in such a way that everything comes true. She is a regular practitioner of Sudarshana Kriya, and she does her meditation once in 3 months, which makes her prediction more accurate and precise. Her upayas that she gives during astrology is so simple, yet it is very practical too. So it's my honor and privilege to welcome Arundhati Bhattacharya here in our show. Thank you, Arundhati.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you. I have been watching your program, and truly your channel is a voice of peace, and it is an honor to be here in your channel today.
Thank you so much. Arundhati, can you just give us an insight of your childhood memories?
Yeah, so as a child, I am right now in Bangalore. As a child, I spent my childhood. I was born in Assam, and I was brought up in Calcutta. I was influenced a lot by my paternal grandfather. So that is what everybody says, and my maternal grandmother, both of whom were very religious and spiritual. So my grandmother was very different from my grandfather. My grandmother was more ritualistic, but I loved when she was doing puja and she would request me to help her while doing her puja. And my grandfather was very different. My grandfather was more spiritual in the sense that he was not very ritualistic. In fact, if the rituals would go haywire, he said, it's fine. It's the love of God that is more important. So that is what I felt has influenced me a lot. He was also an amazing astrologer. As a child, I would hear people coming and gushing about how he had predicted accurately where they had lost their cow and their cow was found in some remote another village and in which particular field. So I used to always wonder, how could he do all that? And his interpretation of every puja was so simple. He would always say that this is a play. We are having a game with God. And that is what has always been with me. So when he left his body, for no reason, he was very frail. He would not be with us. He would be staying in a temple. But I felt we have lost a protection. But for 20 years after he left his body, for 20 years, nothing ever happened to our family. Then I realized when I grew up how powerful spiritual practices are and how it is like a balai, like a kavach for every family.
When did your journey start with Gurudev, Arundhati?
I would say for each one of us devotee, the journey starts much before we do the Kriya. Even as a child, we feel his presence, but we cannot put a word to it, that it is him. When as a child, I was always very devout. Apart from my grandfather and my mother, in my paternal family, no one believes in God. They are communists. So, but because I had this in my heart that there is a higher power, I had seen my mother pray and my grandfather, I would go and do my silent prayers. And whenever somebody would be really rough with me and in an unfair way, and they would get it back in a day or two, I felt, see, somebody up there actually gave them a nice punishment and gave it back. Later on, I felt that it was Gurudev always. Even when I was scared as a child, it was always him who was protecting me. So I think from a child, for every devotee, it starts from your childhood. And officially, when I first did my Sudarshan Kriya in 2006.
What made you choose, why do you want to become a teacher? Because you're already spiritual, right? So what made you, what was that inner pull that made you towards teaching in Art of Living?
So what the spiritual exposure I had got My grandfather was not a man of lot of words. He used to speak very less. The entire magic of it had appealed to me. But when I did Art of Living, that magic became very practical. That is what appealed to me. I understood that magic could be, given to people in a very practical way. And once you give it to them, magic again starts happening in your life. You can come out of your fears, your inhibitions. Though I was exposed to spirituality and religious practices, since as I said, my family was communist, we never really practiced it as such. My mother would take me to Arundhati Ashram and we would be doing yogas and all, but there was nothing formal about it. With Kriya, what happened, there was a shift in my mind. The fear that I had from childhood, which I said that I felt Gurudev is protecting me, this was like as if an umbrella was there above my head 24 hours. And then I felt, initially I never felt that I should become a teacher, honestly. I felt I have a family, I have too much of duties, I can't become a teacher. But slowly in 4 years, I felt that if I could get this much peace, why not give it to others? Because it is so practical, it is magical at the same time, but it is so practical and people could get benefited, and so many people could get benefited from this.
Arundhati, you have served in many departments in the Art of Living International Center. How did working in the ashram made you very strong from within? It's definitely a training ground for all of us. What is that overall personality change that you had when you were working in the ashram? I mean, after coming from the department you have served?
So I would say, first of all, working in ashram, as you rightly said, is a training ground, and training ground for applying all the 5 knowledges we learned in our basic course of happiness program, as it is called now. Gurudev will ensure all those points you come across one day. Either it's a difficult situation or a very unique personality with whom you have to deal with. Through all of this, what happened to me, I became flexible. I also became very strong. My fears, one had gone from the Sahaj meditation, from Sudarshan Priya, from my Menon courses, as you were telling, once in 3 months. From all of that, it did go, but I remained a people pleaser. I think only after working in ashram, I understood you can't always be pleasing everybody all the time. In that way, you won't get your work done. Sometimes you have to be firm. Yes, that doesn't mean you have to become violent, but you have to be firm. And I think that was the biggest lesson that I got after working from ashram. And another thing is that Gurudev is always with you. We both have worked in the BR Hill project. We both know how we got permission from the government of Karnataka. Getting permission from the government is not easy. We were knocking from one door to the other, from one place to the other. We went around and round. Early in the morning, from nearly 7, we reached Mysore. Till 7 in the evening, we were waiting to get that permission, but we got it and came back. So I knew determination, that what virya that Gurudev tells, with virya, a lot of things can happen. Patience, dhairya and virya can give you a lot, as truly they are part of Ashtalakshmi. Yes, those things I really got after working in ashram.
As an author, can you share your experience of your mind when you're writing and giving life to the character Arundhati?
That's not me. So, yes, that book is completely not me. That I feel it got written through me. I was just typing. Somebody wanted that story, and I was just as if I was living the story throughout. And it got me connected to a very different realm. And I feel that it is Gurudev, it is the Divine Mother, whatever it plays through. I did not flesh out any character. I did not write one single word. I've never wrote in my whole life. I wrote an essay maybe in school for English and Bengali. I have never written anything in my life, anything. So it came as a surprise to me as well.
how, as you are a wife, you play so many roles, mother, and then you run to Calcutta every now and then for your parents, come back. So how is that your balance? You're working also, doing so many things, astrology. So how is that you're balancing everything? In spite of that, you take courses too. So can you tell us what is the secret behind this, Arundhati?
Again, I don't do anything because I'm not doing it. That is the
Unfair
secret.
answer. You must.
Yeah, so I feel for all of us actually, it's just that initially when we don't realize, we feel we are doing it. When you realize, we understand, things get done through us. And when you realize things get done through you, you don't get very bothered about what you are doing when. It's just that you are available. Physically, you are available. That's all. Apart from being physically available, I don't think I do much. The rest of the thing gets done. Honestly, I have never done anything ever. Whether it is cooking, whether it is cleaning, whether it is going to a corporate and giving an intro talk, wherein I have been shaking and been very scared. And then when I felt Gurudev is pushing me and telling me, I'm there, what are you scared of? I feel he is there, he does everything. I don't think I do anything. That's the answer. That's the honest answer.
After so many years, you desire to get into astrology.
That was Gurudevs Blessing. I was always into astrology. As you have said, it is an addiction for me. I shouldn't even say it's a passion for me. It's an addiction for me. Maybe I have some past life thing, which is why I'm so addicted to astrology. But because of my immense interest, when I went and asked Gurudev whether I should practice it, he said, yes, you practice it professionally. And you tell how it is, what astrology is all about, how it is related to our Vedic knowledge. So which is why I opened a channel to make people more aware and tell them that it is not all superstition. There is an astronomical aspect to it also. There is a physics to it also. And there is a mystical aspect. So astrology is not just physics and science and calculations. There is definitely a mystical aspect, but that is not the only thing. Most astrologers would make it out to be only mystical. So I wouldn't say it's only mystical. I wouldn't say it's only science. So it is the science and an art. So, but it was his blessing again. And even when I'm giving interpretations, again, I have felt whether I'm calculating, whether I'm giving interpretations, it's not me. Because I say things which I have never thought of when I'm doing the calculations. I write so many things, but when I'm there in the session, I'm telling things which are completely different. And I don't know from which space it is coming from. So it is very uncanny for me. So one person had told me, how did you predict my mother's death so accurately? I usually never predict death. Only for him, I had said, please come back from US. Your mother won't be there for a month. I don't know why I said that also. And then when I'm looking up my calculations, I find that my calculations and what I said does not match. So I said, from where did I say that? No, that's a surprise to me as well. So that's again, I am not doing it. I am really not doing it. That day I got convinced.
And connecting to this, I have a question. Now, how does meditation help an astrologer, Arundhati?
So I wouldn't say just meditation. Every astrologer would say you need a guru. And not just a guru who would take you in the path of astrology. For some astrologers, it is that I think you need a Sadguru. The more you are connected with a Sadguru, like I said, he will tell you to meditate. Through meditation, you are connected to him. Ultimately, when you sit down to tell somebody something, it is the connection you have with him, and he again plays through you. So I wouldn't say my predictions are accurate, non-accurate, nothing. I am in a mode of surrender. Whatever has to come out from my mouth, it comes out. So if it is somebody, if I have to scold someone, I scold. If I have to tell somebody nice things, I nice. So there are people whom I really scold. They're my clients, but I am scolding them. But I felt that maybe they needed that. But I am very grateful to Gurudev that this has become a very unique intro talk for me. So, because I feel ultimately the best upaya is to do Sudarshan Kriya and do meditation. Nothing can beat that. If I see in a chart that a person is not interested in spirituality, I then tell them to chant. Beyond that, I myself do not feel in the veracity of any other upaya. See, there are three kinds of upaya. There are sattvic, tamasic, and rajasic. Like in everything else. So sattvic upayas are meditation, kriya, and chanting. Rajasic are wearing with different stones because they're costly and you can show off. And tamasic is tamasic is those where you harm others or yourself in doing those upayas, and they should be avoided at all cost. All cost. Because instead of taking away your karma, you incur more karma through them. And Rajasic upayas have a very short-term efficacy. Sattvic upayas are the way to be because it changes you.
Love numerology and you have a connection to the mystic world. So, there are times when people say the number, names, etc. have an impact on the person's character, the basic character. Of course, things change as we do the Kriya practice, but there's something called basic character, right? What is your comment on it?
The name we are born in, the number we are born in, or even in astrology, the planets we come in, the lagna we are born in is determined by the soul. Soul is our bigger mind. It is the infinity. So the infinity, God, our soul, there is no difference. The soul, as I think Gurudev in one of his talks have said that when it is general, it is God. When it is special, it becomes human, because there it is discrete souls. But when it becomes part of the infinity, it is general. It is so when we take a discrete body and individual body, we decide when we will come, how we will come, where we will come, who will be our parents, what name we shall take, what date, the number we shall come. Because all those become part of our journey, and in a bigger and larger scale, our spiritual journey.
These are all connected before we are born.
Yes.
Right.
Before we are born, the soul decides, I will be doing this journey because only by doing these things, I will be going at this place where I would like to go in my spiritual journey. See, ultimately, what is important is the spiritual journey of the soul. Earlier, people used to do astrology to see that, how the spiritual journey will bloom and blossom beautifully. Now we see it for whether I'll get a job, whether I'll get a good life partner and a good education, whether I will be successful. But the actual reason why astrology was done earlier was to see how your spiritual journey will be. So that, yes, it can be indicated very powerfully through your astrological charts, but then that is an indication. We have to give effort to make that come true, make it fulfilled.
I remember you are very passionate and very, from the childhood, you love goddess Kali. And you've always described many things about her. Can you just share a small incident about her presence in your life and the meaning that got revealed to you, etc.?
First of all, yes, I have grown up seeing Devi Puja in my house. My paternal grandfather would pray to Goddess Durga as well as Kali, and we had a lovely figure of Goddess Durga in our bedroom. So though it was Mahishasur Mardini in Bengalis, we have this concept of Goddess Durga is the mother, and she has two daughters, which is Lakshmi and Saraswati, and two sons, there was a Ganesha and Kartikeya. So we did not have the full thing, we just had the Mahishasur Mardini. But a more beautiful face I've never come across. She was amazingly beautiful. From then on, I had this love for the Divine Mother. And after my marriage, I got into a family who prays to Goddess Kali, and that form of Goddess Kali has been prayed for the past 500 years. So the first time I met that figure of Goddess Kali, I was overwhelmed. She looks very fierce. But once I got my Priya, the first day when she was being made, every year she is being made, and after the puja, she is immersed in a pond. Again, that structure is picked up from the pond and she's reconstructed. So when she was being made, I saw Gurudev's face there. And from then I stopped being scared of her. I understood she is my Guru and Guru is my mother. There is no difference, no difference. And over the years, there have been so many incidents, which is, I say, Guru's grace and even mother's grace, that of protection, that I feel more than the fierceness, she is an immensely loving mother, immensely. In fact, her whole form represents time and the unknown, which is why she is dark. The heads that she cuts off, it is nothing but ego. It is the headlessness means egolessness. And she is stepping on Shiva, and standing there means that when you are unconscious in anger, then you will be fierce. But when you are conscious and her tongue comes out, then you become Shiva. So Shiva and the Devi are not different, they are one and the same. And she creates illusion. The whole world is, the manifest world is her creation. She is the mother. But she also gives you the ultimate knowledge. She is the one who bestows the ultimate knowledge. Now, if you feel that you feel more connected, if you see it, the infinite in the form of a male god as Shiva, so be it. If you feel that it is Krishna whom you connect, so be it. But it's one and the same universal spirit, whether it is the mother or the Shiva or Lord Shiva or Lord Krishna. It is one and the same, to me at least. And that same spirit is my Gurudev.
We are used to chanting. We are, both of us we have already done Gayatri, Sandhya Vandan and all that. Can you say, by practicing this for so long, of course I have been also practicing, how does it change our personality, daily chanting of mantra?
See, sounds are very, very powerful, and sound has an effect on our entire being. How we chant it, chanting it with the right pronunciation. And I would see another important thing is devotion, the connection you feel with the mantra. The more you feel connected with the mantra becomes alive for you. And the Gayatri that you've said, everybody over the years have said, if you chant Gayatri, it is an immensely powerful, and what kind of power I need not tell, immensely powerful. It will make you more lustrous, make you more intelligent, make you live long, have a healthy life. Gayatri mantra is an amazingly powerful mantra.
So anything else to add on, any message to the viewers?
I would say that everyone who watches our conversation should at least experience Kriya in their lifetime and meditation in their lifetime, because even it is important to do meditation and Kriya to be successful in life. If you want success in the material world, then too connecting to our inner spirit is very important. Because once we do, we remain centered. We do not sway here and there. That is also required to attain our goal. So they should experience Sudarshan Kriya and meditation at least once. And mourn, of course, they should, because that's an amazing out-of-the-world experience.
Thank you so much for giving your time, Arundhati. It's wonderful talking to you. Thank you very much. Jai Gurudev.
Thank you so much, Priya. It was a joy coming to your post. I see a lot of Devi Shakti in you. May you be really successful through Devi Ma.